what's the weather like?
It's -7 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Tonight.
I was one of the lucky ones to get the Echo frames early on the invitation path. So today I'm going to show you my first impressions and how to set this device up and use it. Let's go. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I'm going to take the frustration out of automation by showing you something brand new from Amazon. Now, I did open the device briefly yesterday just to take a couple of quick photos. I'm sorry, I couldn't wait. And so now we're going to get right into some of the details. I'm going to show you what the product looks like. We're going to set it up, and then we are going to walk through what you can do and my first impressions of this new product from Amazon. So inside the box, you actually do get two separate cards here. There's one to take it to your optician. This actually tells you that you can only really heat the back end of the frames. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second, but otherwise they're saying also you can't put it in the ultrasonic cleaners. So there's some specific maintenance components to these glasses because they are electronics. Now the other thing is 3 steps to get it set up. That's a very quick, easy card to follow. Kind of your standard process for most of your Echo devices. Now you do also get a very specific charging cable here, and this is going to be a little hard to show, but this is a magnetic attachment, so it will actually magnetically attach to the frames, click in. This is obviously just a standard USB, and you're getting the standard USB charger. This is a 100 volt to 240 volt, 0.15 amp is what I think it said on there. Yeah. Other things in the box, you do get a basic user guide, which will kind of tell you what you're able to do with the device. It's actually really handy because there is a lot of complexity on these glasses. You also do get a cleaning cloth. Now, I also got in it a card from my friend Frank Engelman, who sent these up from the US for us. So they are not delivering internationally, but it helps to have a friend like Frank who helps seniors out. I'll leave a link down to his website. He has done a lot of work with seniors. Now, let's get into the actual glasses. I did charge them previously. You do have to charge these glasses. Play my last book.
Resuming the call of the wild.
Buck lived at a big house in the sun-kissed Santa Clara Valley.
Well, we got to do the switch. I'm going to put down my glasses. I can't see anything at this point, but here we go. There's a little light on the inside. Now, what I did is there's a little button over here. I pressed that button just for a second. I have a little flashing light here in front of my eye. It's going blue and red, very similar to what you get with the Amazon Echo devices in general, but it's prompted me to go ahead into the Amazon Voice Assistant application and get these set up. Now, what's interesting about this setup process is as soon as I powered those on and I was in Amazon's Voice Assistant application, it found the Echo frames. Now, if it doesn't, you can go through the standard process of going to the devices page, hitting plus, going to Echo and choosing the Echo frames. Now, I'm in Canada, guys, so I managed to get this working by changing my account to a US account actually, but I'm going to hit the setup button and it's saying we're going to set up these frames. So very simple process. So now we're just connecting through Bluetooth to these frames, and actually as you sit here, you can hear the glasses telling you I'm not able to maintain a connection or I'm not connected yet. Please make that connection. So you do have to make sure that you pair and allow your pairing to occur through your phone. So you could have a little bit of trouble there initially. I think in most cases, it's going to be very seamless for people. So I just went through the setup process. I'm all finished. You guys have seen that, and I'm ready to start using the device. Now, there's a couple of buttons and some things that they informed me very quickly about how you control. There's actually a swipe ability on this. This is kind of a control interface in and of itself. So let me do that again. You'll hear a sound. Now at the very bottom is the action button, so you can press that to actually enable your voice assistant to start speaking, and you do get this little light in here as that occurs. The other thing is these are your volume buttons on the bottom. I'm also instantly annoyed that it's all showing up here on my phone. I want to hear it in my ear. So we're going to try out a couple of things. I'm going to walk away here for a bit, and I'm going to put in some contacts, and then I'll come back and give you my impressions of actual usage with these devices. Play the Foo Fighters.
Shuffling songs by Foo Fighters on Amazon Music.
Now, you guys all know that I've been wearing glasses for a long time. So when I say that they are actually a wearable frame and I'm surprised by that, there are some caveats, but in general, they are about the same weight as my existing glasses or my existing frames. Now they have the plastic lenses in them, so they don't have the full lens that I'm used to. So that's really the difference there. But in general, they are the same weight or a little bit under, and even with the thickness of these, as long as you like the look of how it is, then I think they're an okay frame to wear. As a glass wearer too, I mean, they don't have a true nose pad, so they are always going to slide a little bit for you here. That's kind of an important component for a lot of people. The other thing I find is this is very smooth along these edges here, but actually on the outside, when I try and do the swipe, it is actually a little bit harder if I have anything on my finger at all. So that might not be the most effective control interface I've ever seen. The Bluetooth connectivity to my smartphone seems very strong. It's been very stable. There was some initial setup issues where I didn't have the sound kind of playing out right, but it just took some fiddling with the Bluetooth connection options inside of my Pixel to fix that all up, and everything was good there. What I will say though, if you're an iOS user, guess what? You can't even use the Echo frames with your iOS device. So you do need an Android, and that's a little bit of a departure for Amazon. I think what's happening here is they're really just testing out this kind of technology. They're not really trying to sell a million of these. They really just want to see what works, what doesn't work within this. Now, the best experience I've had so far with these, one of the major reasons that I think someone might really want these is the phone call experience. You know, I went and I placed a couple of phone calls here today. I used it for over an hour, probably only dropped an extra 10% over what I've seen kind of historically with them so far in terms of battery life, and spent that full hour talking to someone with both of my hands free the entire time, not a very loud conversation going on, so it wasn't coming through the speaker. So it's very similar to a set of earbuds. The sound was very good. Everyone said that I spoke to, or everyone so far has said that the sound quality is every bit as good as me talking on my phone. So very powerful stuff there. I was able to hang up, although this was one of the negatives I've experienced. I tapped to hang up, and it was a mistake the first time. So sorry, Alan, for hanging up on you there, but that's kind of what happens with these new devices. So yeah, I would say from an overall perspective, that was my favorite experience. What has been my biggest struggle so far is learning all the different commands that I can make with them. That's probably going to be the most difficult thing going forward with the tap and the swipe functionality. I have to remember a lot of different commands, so that's not an easy thing. The buttons also complicate that as well, and you have double clicks to mute with the action button, and then you double click to turn that back on the mic again. So there's been some learning on the commands, and I would say I'm going to have to really get used to that as well. The battery life also ran out after a few hours of pretty extensive usage with them. So the overall cost is something to talk about too, as kind of a negative here. When you think about going out and getting lenses put into a set of frames at this pricing, I mean, sometimes the frames cost that much. It's kind of a designer set of frames really in the end in terms of its pricing. So, you know, they have this introductory pricing for the invitation only folks who go out and get this, but in the end these will be $250 US. So that's a pretty expensive set of frames, and then to go and add lenses to it, and something that you're only going to be able to wear kind of part of the time and have Amazon's voice assistant with you, that's probably going to make it out of the price range for most people. But it is certainly a different experience. I'm enjoying the experience so far, and I think, guys, overall, that's what I'm going to tell you are my impressions of the Echo Frames to start off. I hope you've enjoyed this first look at these devices, and I'm really excited to see what they bring me over time in my smart home. Now, of course, we have a ton of other reviews and other first impression videos, setup videos for Amazon and all of their Echo devices here on Automate Your Life. So go ahead, watch that and watch that playlist right now, guys. You're going to learn a ton about these devices. So thanks for watching, everyone. And of course, don't hate, automate.